Hi everybody, this is Miss Nicole with Bloomfield Public Library, and today we're going to have a lot of fun. Today I'm going to be talking about how we can create some simple rockets, and it's very simple science but with a lot of fun thrown in. So we're going to do things in stages. We're going to do an exploding sandwich bag and some rocket film canisters, a rocket soda bottle, and then we're going to wrap it all up with some Mentos soda geysers, which are super fun. So before we get started, we're going to do the simple exploding sandwich baggie experiment. And in this experiment, it's really a reaction between acids and bases, just like we did with the rubber egg. With our acid, we've got vinegar that we're going to use again, which has acetic acid in it. And we're going to combine it with some baking soda. And baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, which is a base. And when we put those two together, we're going to get the release of carbon dioxide, which is a gas. And that's going to slowly fill up our baggie until it pops because it can't handle the pressure anymore. So I'm going to switch positions so we can see me actually assembling the baggie, and then we'll give that first one a try. Now what I've done is I've added 1/4 cup of warm water to a 1/2 cup of distilled white vinegar in a sandwich baggie, your normal zip-closed sandwich baggie. And I've put 1 tablespoon or 3 teaspoons of baking soda into a little folded up piece of napkin. I used essentially 1/4 of a regular napkin. And now I'm going to put this into my liquid mixture, seal it up, and then quick watch as the reaction starts to happen. I'm going to try and seal it up as quickly as possible. And there we go. I barely got out of the way in time before it all exploded. Now, one of the things we're going to do is make film canister rockets. And some of you may not even know what a film canister looks like because everybody takes pictures nowadays with a digital camera. Essentially, a film canister container looks like this. Back in the old days when we had to use actual film and put it in cameras, the film came in little containers like this. And these make for the perfect little mini rockets. You can actually buy these online, so you don't need to worry about not having any old-fashioned film at home. But these work beautifully. You can buy them for like a dozen in a pack, I think. So I have my little film canister, and the only other ingredients we need are water and Alka-Seltzer tablets. And Alka-Seltzer is something you can pick up at any pharmacy. A lot of people dissolve it in water to help with an upset stomach. But the beauty of Alka-Seltzer is that it contains both an acid and a base together in one tablet. It has our acetic acid, like we used in the vinegar, and our sodium bicarbonate is in here as well, the acid and the base. And when we put it in water, the water helps those acids and bases to combine. And that's when we get our release of carbon dioxide and our explosion. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill our film canister up with about 1/3 to 1/2 of water. I think I'm going to empty out a little of that. Let's see. There we go. About that much water. And we're going to plunk in an Alka-Seltzer tablet. This is what it looks like. This is our acid and base combined. And the water is going to be the magic that helps combine all those acids and bases. Let's see what happens. Now I'm going to show you how to make a very simple rocket out of an empty 2-liter soda bottle or a 1-liter soda bottle. I think what I essentially have here is a 1-liter bottle, and that's fine. The only other things you'll need to make this rocket are 3 pencils, ideally unsharpened pencils because you want to be able to balance your rocket, and some kind of tape. I'm going to use duct tape because it's nice and sturdy and it's going to hold up well. You can use packing tape. You can even try using Scotch tape, whatever's going to hold your pencils to your bottle. when you put the bottle together, you're going to end up with something that looks like this. So you're going to tape those pencils to the outside of the bottle, and you want to make sure that the pencils come down well below where the mouth of the bottle is, and that it's balanced. You want to keep testing your pencils as you're taping them to make sure that when you put this on a surface, it's going to be flat and even. You don't want your bottle to kind of be like this, or it's not going to stand up on its own. And you will also need something like a cork. You might have something else that you can put as a stopper in the mouth of the bottle. It may take you a while to find something that's the right size, but most standard wine bottle-y kind of corks, maybe your parents have some, will fit in the mouth of that bottle and make it nice and airtight. And that's all we need to make this simple rocket. Now we're going to put a little bit of vinegar inside, and we're going to do exactly what we did with the baggie experiment. We're going to fold up and make a little pocket out of a napkin and put, about a tablespoon or 2 of baking soda into that pocket. And we're going to watch the reaction as it happens. So let's go check it out. Now, in order to make this rocket go, what we're going to do is pour about 2 or 3 inches of vinegar into the bottle. So probably for me, I'm going to go right up to about here with vinegar. I'm going to put my cork down for a second. I'm going to put let's see. That's probably good. You might have to keep testing amounts. There's no exact, everything I saw online, there was no exact amount that people use. You just trial and error like a scientist. Try a little bit, make sure you make marks so you can see where you last did something. I'm guesstimating, and we're gonna see how that goes. Actually, I think I have a little too much in there. I'm gonna pour a little bit out. You don't need too much. All right, I think that's pretty good. And we're making that little packet of baking soda that's going to go inside here, so we get our vinegar, which is an acid, that will react with our base, which is the sodium bicarbonate or the baking soda. You know, the only trick about our little packet this time is we have to roll it more than fold it, because it's got to go into the mouth of the bottle. And when you put it in, you want to move quickly, because you want to capture as much of that gas that's escaping as possible, as much of that carbon dioxide gas. So keep that stopper handy, and as soon as you get that packet in, you're going to put the stopper in so that it's nice and airtight, flip it over so it's standing on its pencils, and then watch to see it go into the air. Let's see how I do. So, as you saw from that demonstration, I had a little bit of trouble getting my baking soda into the bottle. I made my little roll of paper way too thick, so I was sort of jamming it in there with baking soda flying everywhere. But it still worked beautifully. But like all good scientists, we test and then we adjust and we try again. So I'm going to do it once more. I've made my tube of baking powder much narrower, so hopefully this one will drop right in and we'll get to see my rocket one more time without me getting covered in baking soda. Let's give it one more try. Now, that second time we did our rocket, it didn't go quite as high as the first time, and that might be in part due to how much baking soda I added or how much vinegar. I think I did a little less vinegar this time, and maybe more of my baking soda got in because I did a better packet. So if you want to be really precise, you can measure exactly how much you're putting in. I guesstimated a little with the vinegar, and I did about 1 to 2 tablespoons of baking soda because I just like seeing it go up. I'm not measuring it, but if you were doing this as a science experiment, you would want to measure and have very precise notes about what you did with each of your tests. So now that we've done that one, let's move on to our next one. Now for our last bit of fun, we're gonna do some Mentos and soda geysers. And what we're gonna do is drop some Mentos candy into a full 2-liter bottle of soda. Now, all critics agree that Diet Coke, for whatever reason, works the best and has the best geyser. But we're gonna test it. We're gonna compare Diet Coke to Diet Pepsi. We're gonna compare Diet Coke to regular Coke. And we're going to compare Diet Coke to Diet Mountain Dew, and we're going to see if they make a difference. You can do this experiment in a number of ways. I happen to have this nifty little device that I bought online, and it's specifically designed for making soda geysers. It's actually called, I don't know if you can see that, Geyser tube. And what you do is you unscrew the top, and you're going to slip the candies right in. At the bottom, you're going to make sure this little red pin is pushed in so it catches the candy. So that when we're ready to actually release this into the soda, you screw this onto the top of the soda where the cap normally is. And when you're ready, you pull out this red pin and all the candies drop at one time into the soda. You can do this your own way. You can create a tube out of paper that essentially is designed kind of like this, so it's going to hold the candies in a stack, and then put a piece of cardstock or construction paper or a note card underneath, so that when you're ready, you just secure the tube and hold on to it and pull that card out from underneath, and all those candies will drop. But we're going to use my special little geyser tube for ours because it makes it so much easier. And they're very inexpensive. So if you wanted to pick one of these up on Amazon, I think they only cost about $5 or $6. They're not that expensive, and you can use them over and over again. Okay, so I'll show you how I'm going to put the candy in my geyser tube. Again, I'm going to make sure that this red pin is tucked in so that my candies don't fall out the bottom. So I'm going to unscrew this, the top. And now it's the perfect size to drop my candies into. And it usually takes, I think, about 6 or 7 candies. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's pretty good. So I'm going to do 6 candies. So you can get a couple of geysers out of one package of Mentos. And now I am going to show you our first soda geyser. We're going to start with Diet Coke, and then we'll compare it to some other versions of sodas. I think what we saw is that Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke were actually very similar in terms of results. In fact, the only geyser that I thought was noticeably smaller was the Mountain Dew, and that could have been because of the amount of sugar in Mountain Dew. Probably weighed down the geyser a little bit. But in our still images, you can see that Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke were very close, with regular Coke being a slightly distant third, and then Mountain Dew being way at the end. So hopefully you'll have some fun with all of these rockets over the 4th of July weekend. And I've got some more fun stuff coming up for us this summer, so hopefully you'll keep tuning into Science Bytes. But that's it for now. Bye, everybody.